Hello everyone, my name is ChanceTPL and welcome back to the TheRebornFox channel. Today, welcome to the very first meta report for the Cookierun English speaking server. In this video, we are going to be running down some of the stats that I've compiled for the first month of the English Cookierun server, but my thoughts on how the meta is shaping up to be, and my general opinions on the state of the game with the records going into the tournament this coming week. My previous video on teaching you all how to play Cookierun, I did mention that LS, the owner of the current English speaking server, is hosting a tournament sometime in the next week. There's still no more information on that. I apologize. It is not up to me. But with that being said, it's gonna be more of a freeform video. I'm gonna be talking about my thoughts, so I might ramble on a bit if that's not your cup of tea. The door is right there. The door is right there. I work in the living room, so let's just jump into it. So to start off, we are going to be sort of going down the deck stats and kind of just the general state of how things have been going. To start off, purple has a 10-11 win rate, green has a 1-3, blue has a 12-7, yellow 0-3, red 16-17, and green 1-0. Now these are only the matches that I have been personally playing. I know a lot of other people have been playing with other decks, but this seems to be the general layout of how things are going. Start off, we have let's start with the outliers here. The green red was a mixed deck that we have in the current meta. It won, right? But it's just sort of you could just sort of put it under green in general because it was a base green deck. So we'll go with that here. But green in general doesn't seem to be doing too well. Now, from what I have noticed, green is a very technical deck. You have the Sol, you have to play well, and especially the mana base in which you have to play around, it's very hard to do. And a lot of people, especially starting out, aren't really getting good at the green deck. So right now it has a 2-4, 1-3. We're going to disregard the structure decks and the structure meta in general, as that was gone very quickly. And as you can see, yellow was the best there. Basically, the only deck that was being played. Speaking of yellow, we'll jump into that here. Yellow is probably the worst deck in the current meta. I know green has a 1-3, 2-4 record here, but yellow to me seems to be the weakest, and that may be because of the bans, right? Obviously, yellow was the strongest during the structure meta, but it's just bad, right? Timekeeper Cookie is good. Timekeeper still has some merit, but overall, I think just when it goes against the other decks, that being red and blue, right? And even purple to a certain extent. I'd say yellow actually does good into purple, but just against the two best decks right now, blue and red, pardon, it just doesn't seem to be able to hold any merit. The third best deck, in my opinion, currently is purple, and that is not for its lack of goodness. I think it's more because of its RNG aspect. A good purple player, like the owner of the server, LS, is incredibly scary. I think a good purple player can absolutely take over a game. But if you know you're going against a purple player, it's just kind of over, right? Because you can play around it so well. And I think in a tournament setting, it might be decent, right? But in a general rule of thumb, people talking and seeing, who's playing what decks, purple's just going to lose 9 times out of 10 because of the RNG factor, and because if you don't go second, the game's just so hard to play. Second best deck is in contention. Personally speaking, I think red is second best. And that is from my personal experience. And we're going to go through that here. In the tournaments currently that are being played in Korea, red has an overwhelming amount of top 2 finishes. It is by far the best deck per results-based analysis. And even if you look right at the results here, 16-17, it has more decks being played of it. Only 19 for the sample size of blue. However, I think blue is slightly better here, only because of the stall and the draw ability of blue in general. The bouncing of the combo of God, what is it? The Seafarer Cookie and her ability to bounce in the mid game is just unparalleled. It beats out red decks if they do not have an answer to it quickly. And I think just in general, blue is better. Red is Giga though. Red with a good hand wins every game. Straight up and to the point, red will win every single game if it has a decent opening hand. Except for maybe blue. And that is why I have blue on top, is because its draw ability and it's able to stick out through the mid game against red, who likes to just blow you up with its cherry bombs and its trap cards and its -2 little sticky doughs. If you are able to weather the storm, even just like 1 or 2 rounds against red as blue, and keep drawing, right? If you keep getting your draw flips off of your flip cards, which people have been moving towards, it's just really, really, really strong. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting blue at number 1, red at number 2, purple at number 3, green at number 4, purely because of its high skill cap and just not being able to. Yeah, I just think it's like worse blue, right? And yellow at 5. It is banned, right? What are you gonna do? Moving on to the players that I have played against and my personal projections. Here is my total currently against the new players that have started since the server was open. I am 23-18, which I don't think is awful, but at the same time, it's not great. I started off really hot. I think I was like something 9-3 or 12-3 or something like that, and then I just started dropping games pretty hardcore. The two biggest culprits of that are probably Zamado and Carter. Both of those players are very, very good. And these are against non-Koreans. I haven't played against any of the Koreans except for Puka, which you can see I am 7-10 against. He's in his own little category because of that, for different reasons. But I think, I mean, just going over these, right? Gavoin is a decent player. I enjoyed playing against him. Dinya was I love you, Dinya. You are a fun person to play with, but God bless. Bless your soul, man. Now, that was my first day playing. I went 1-on-1 with him. Nightfall is, the games with Nightfall are always very close. So in general, I enjoy playing those. Pink is my roommate. I absolutely violated him, and he hasn't played since. Deddy is decently close games, but I didn't really feel pressured by him. Violet, just close games as well. I did feel pressured by him, but I'm always able to eke out wins. Carter's, all of them were close. Got fucking lucky in a couple of those. But in general, yeah. Evie is not a new player. He is a start player, but I put him in the new player category because he plays like one. I'm 3-2 against him, and 2 of those losses have come today while I got off of work and was eating tacos instead of playing. And I could have won both the games I lost him. But, you know, it's fine. Xander, I played against him 3 times. I don't remember much about the matches against Xander. I did have a giant loss streak and got giga tilted. So, yeah. And then Zamado is better than me. I would say everyone aside from Zamado, pardon, I would consider myself on equal or better against, except for, yeah, like Zamado for the start players. Zamado is in a league of himself. He's being coached by LS, at least in the streams, right? In the Discord streams when we've been playing. And I think that should lead me on into my tournament predictions. When it does eventually happen, fingers crossed, right? I genuinely think that Zamado is going to be the best player in the server. In the tournament, aside from like maybe Korean players, right? He's so fucking good. Zamado is very, very good. He plays the game correctly. He plays out his turns very, very well. He plays like a seasoned Cookierun player, and that is scary to play against, especially if you're not as confident like some of us are. It is insane. And I think that if things go well for him, this tournament is his to lose. My predictions for top 5 in the tournament are probably going to be me, Zamado, and top 2, because I am confident in myself. Assuming we don't have Koreans or start players playing in this tournament. By the way, this is assuming that. And it's going to have to be Zombido, me in top 2 with probably Josh. Xander and Deddy. Ooh, Deddy or Nightfall. That 5th spot can go either way there. However, top 3 for sure should be me, Zombido, and probably Josh. I think Josh. He has a lot of experience in it, but he hasn't as much playing time, so maybe he drops. In general, I think me and Zombido are the best players in the server. I know I have a 0-3 win rate against Carter, but I don't know why I just play worse against him. It might be due to the sleep schedule. Whenever I'm playing at that time, it is late. But I think those are the best players. Going into me, my stats real quick. We'll move over the scene here instead of switching things. We can go down and we will see that in general, I've been doing pretty decently. I've been playing the red deck recently as well, trying to get myself back on my feet here. I had a giant loss streak, as you can see, against Puka, and then I spread with Nightvolt here, won some, lost some. Violet got me a little bit one-on-one there. Eevee, I easy ones there. And then just the giant Xander loss streak. And then after Xander, I was able to finally pick myself back up, and I've been on a decent win streak since, dropping one game here and there. But 5 win streak there, dropped one to Puka, 2 loss, win, loss, win, loss. In general, I think I am the 2nd or 3rd best player in the server for the new players. Holy shit, I have so many ads. But with that being said, it's hard to tell here. I think blue and red are going to dominate the tournament, and having blue as a better deck here, in my personal opinion, I think it's with Zombido playing it. I think it's his tournament to lose. That is the first state of the meta for the Cookierun TCG Ellis Discord server. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a follow. I will be posting Cookierun content every week, 2 to 3 times a week, including live streams on top of that. If you guys enjoyed this, you have a wonderful night, and never trust a purple player. Bye-bye.